Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we're going to have Steve. Steve is from England in the UK. So let's see what Steve has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello Steve, how are you?
I'm really good, William. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
No problem.
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
I've had a few meetings this morning,
Hmm.
chasing work and shopping this afternoon. Walked the dogs, took the dogs for a nice little walk. Done a little bit of housework when I got home, and
Uh,
then the wife should be home at about 8:30, so I'll have tea in after we finish.
Amazing. Do you consider yourself to be more of a day or evening person?
I'm more of a day person. Like I say, I'm normally really busy. Sometimes I've got clients in an evening because obviously they work through the day, so I see them on a night.
And what do you do for work, for living, Steve?
I am a life coach specializing in addiction, nutrition, basically mental health. But then I also travel the UK sharing a personal story as a keynote speaker about an accident at work and talk about safety, behavioral safety, and mental health. So trying to get that message out to as many guys as possible.
Oh, wow. So walk me through a little bit more about this journey about traveling around England and sharing your experience.
Yeah, so it all started 13 years ago. I was involved in a workplace accident, near fatal accident. So without going into it, because it'll take forever, we was putting in a pipe, some steel pipe for a fire hydrant system, and we had to pressure test it. And while I was in the trench, the pipe failed at 18 bar of pressure and blew. Um, I'm lucky to survive. I was trapped underwater for a while, suffered quite a few injuries, but because of that, my mental health deteriorated really fast, and I struggled with PTSD,
Hmm.
anxiety, and depression. So I was in a really dark place after the accident for a long time, but I eventually had therapy and got help. That therapy then sent me on a journey of self-discovery. I'm not a religious person. I wasn't even spiritual as such, but I read a lot on spirituality. It kind of made me realize I'm here for a reason. Um, that's where now sharing it has come into it, because if my story can help just one person, then it's worth me sharing.
Wow. I think it's very powerful and inspiring for you to be able to share your personal events and at the same time helping people out there. And you are so right. Sometimes we never know where our story can get to people, and sometimes they're facing challenge moments and they feel like they are the only person facing that. And see someone, sharing their story, and of course, you been through that, and now you see in a different way, and it's about helping people. I think it's very inspiring for sure.
Yeah, thank you. Like I say, we've all got our own story, and no
Yeah.
one person's trauma is any better, any less, or any more than the next person. So by sharing it and communicating and talking, it just encourages other people to talk about. And as I always finish, I'll say life is a story, and we'll go through chapters. And sometimes we go through a really bad chapter, but
Yep.
that doesn't have to be the end. If you reach out, you get help, you speak to somebody, you can start to rewrite the next chapter and create the life that you want. And that's where, as a life coach, I come into play.
Absolutely. So that's why you start your journey as well as a life coach about helping people.
Yeah, I think my background's construction, so I'm an excavator operator and a site supervisor. I've done that for 20 years,
Hmm.
but over the last 12 years, since the accident, I studied the mind and NLP and hypnotherapy. I'm a trained hypnotherapist.
Oh, wow.
All it was all just for my own self development, so I could understand myself. But then I found myself helping people just in supermarkets and talking, and then somebody said you should do this as work, and
Yeah.
because I don't look very approachable. I'm covered in tattoos. I'm quite big, got a shaved head. So people kind of walk away from me and rather to me. But once they do speak to me, they open up really, really quick. So
Is
yeah, I just kind of fell into it, and it's good because it's my passion. So I don't feel like I actually work now.
yeah.
It's good.
It's great how life takes us in a direction that you're not expecting, and suddenly you find your way in life, and you go like, "Wow,
Mm.
that's what meant to be for me for sure."
Exactly. I think everything happens for a reason, and you just got to
Yeah,
follow your own instinct. Take any opportunity that you can. If you do get knocked back, don't worry about it because it will happen if you set goals and keep moving forward.
absolutely. And tell me, where are you from, Steve?
I was born in Hull in the UK, which is in East Yorkshire. I now live
Yeah,
in just outside of Beverley, so it's not bad, just on the east coast of the UK.
I've been whole actually. I've been whole a long time ago, and as well.
Yeah,
Yes, I've been actually. I've been as well to a small town called Scunthorpe.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's West in Hull.
Yes, I
But
remember.
yeah, it's like I say, it's a lot better now. We've spent a lot of money in Hull, so there is a lot of visitors coming across and stuff as well. But yeah, it's I've moved out of Hull.
The memory that I have from Hull is I remember arriving there, and there was this. You could see there was this place with a lot of boats and little boats and yachts. You know what I mean? You could say this the river
Yeah,
or the sea.
just on the marina. It's really nice around there now.
Yeah, I remember taking some. Actually, I had one of my first Facebook picture was taken there.
Yeah. It's a nice place.
Right, Steve. So during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your journey so far, okay?
Yeah.
But before we start our journey within the magic box, would you like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that's not many people know about you?
I think everybody knows everything about me. I'm fairly open. Um, I cry at the most simplest of movies.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
So yeah, like I think one of the worst. I've watched it about 8 times, but Armageddon gets me all the time, so I cry at Armageddon.
Oh, my,
Um,
I remember
but
this.
but yeah, I think other than that, I'm a bit of an open book. So anyone who does know me,
Amazing. Very
knows
good. Now, every time when I'm going to watch Armageddon, I'm going to remember you now. Right. I
I'll
haven't
be
watched.
sat there.
I haven't watched for a while actually. It's been a while now, isn't it? Like the 90s maybe.
Yeah, I think the last time I cried watching a movie was what did I watch? I watched some the other night, and I can't remember what the film was called, but yeah, I cried recently watching a film.
Amazing.
I'll try and remember what film it was.
Steve, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Cool.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Go.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Yeah.
First question for you is, what's the best and the worst of being yourself?
Oh, that's a tough one. The best is just I'm me. I am who I am. I'm who I'm supposed to be. I won't. You get people wishing there was somebody else out there. Like I'm happy being Steven Kirby. So, but the worst, there's not a worst other than I'm getting old. So yeah, I'm 46 in a few weeks. So
And do you like celebrating birthdays?
not really. Spend time with family and loved ones, but go for a nice meal somewhere. But Yeah, no big parties or anything like that.
Aging for you, it's something that bothers you, or for you, you see just a matter of life?
No, it's a matter of life, isn't it? But it's just a number, and I do look after myself. I don't drink alcohol. I eat healthy foods,
Hmm.
um, and I get told I look younger than what I am, which is a positive. But yeah, my body still aches like a 45-year-old.
You do actually, you do. I wouldn't tell you're 46. I would say you're younger for sure. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Steve, the next question is, what do you think is a good age to start dating and why?
Start dating.
Yeah.
That all depends because if you meet the right person, even when you're 13, 14, and spend, I know people who've met at that age and still together today,
Hmm.
and I'm very, very happy. I've gone through a few long term relationships
Hmm.
until I've now got to my my soulmate, which is my now wife. But we did actually go out when we were 16,
Wow.
and then we separated, didn't see each other for 20 plus years,
Wow.
and we wasn't friends on Facebook or anything. And then she came back into my life a few years ago. We got married, and yeah, been together almost 3 years.
Wow. Let's say that she's watching this interview right now and you have a moment and the opportunity to send her a message. What would you say?
Keep on being amazing.
That was a quick one. Saying that, Steve, what's the biggest difference between both of you and the biggest similarity?
Similarity is she does a similar kind of work to what I do. So she's uh, an alcohol and drugs early intervention kind of therapist and works with people. And obviously, when we got together, I was coaching at that point. So we're doing really similar work.
Hmm.
Um, we are both really, really similar, but she's a bit of a perfectionist, I suppose, whereas I'm not. That's the opposite. But other than that, we're like two peas in a pod.
Amazing. I think the balance sometimes the differences sometimes get people together as well and closer.
Yeah, it's like so she doesn't drink or out either. So the lifestyle we have is we she eats healthy. We go out, we enjoy ourselves. We go to a lot of gigs. We enjoy holidays, and yeah, it's just my soulmate.
It's amazing as well, as you mentioned, that you guys knew each other since you're a teenager and suddenly you went apart and life got back again. That's crazy.
Yeah, she always says that I wanted to go off and be a bit of a tart back then at that age and go out with my mates and enjoy myself and get it out of my system, and then came back in my forties when I've done it all.
Now you're ready for her. Now you're ready.
100%, yeah, 100%. That is it. It's the rest of my life.
Next question. Before the next question, Steve, tell me what's the biggest joy of being a mental health speaker? Yeah, what do you like the most about, sharing your stories and also helping people? And the flip side, what do you find most challenging about the career?
The positive side of it is I know that whether I've got 30 people in a room or whether I've got 450 people in a room, I'm not there to please everybody. But if like as I said at the beginning, if one person changes the way they think because of what I've said and what I've talked about, then to me, and at the end when I do speak, everybody wants to come over and shake my hand and say, "Wow, that was amazing." So that is what I'm passionate about, and that's a positive. The negative side of it is just being stood up there in front of 400 people is scary. I never planned to do it. It was something I fell into, and when I got asked to do my first one, it was to well, my first one was just for managers. The second time was to 150 people,
Hmm.
and I remember driving down. It was in Leicester in the UK, and I remember driving down. I didn't sleep the night before because I was going over it in my head. And then on the way, I nearly turned around and talked myself out of it. I thought, "Who are you kidding? I can't stand in front of all them people." But then the life coach in me was like, "Yeah, you can. You've got to go do it. You've got to go face it. Whatever happens, happens. It's meant to be." And so yeah, it's not as scary now. I don't lose sleep over it. I look forward to it. But yeah, it can be daunting when you stood in front of a lot of people.
And how did you manage that day? So you're stressed out, you couldn't sleep. And tell me when you arrived there, tell me when you kind of relaxed and you go, okay, I can do that.
I didn't relax until the second I started speaking. But to control that, I did a lot of breath work, a lot of focus on my breath, staying grounded, keeping myself nice and solid. And then once it started, it seemed to pass really, really quick. And it was, I actually enjoyed it, but it still didn't make it any easier for the next ones for a long time. I still went through that every time I did one. But yeah, now, like I said, I don't lose sleep. I don't have to focus on my breath, but it is still quite daunting. I get imposter syndrome sometimes, and I think, like, what are they thinking while I'm stood up there for an hour speaking? Are they thinking, well, what's he know? You know, like how can? And I forget that I've been training and studying for the last 12 years on mental health. So there's a lot in there, and I don't know. I've just never used to class myself as an expert. So.
And I believe as well, as you said, about the reaction from people, when they express themselves, gratitude through your words, your speech. And I think that's what makes you, doing more, because somehow people, they see it.
Yeah, well, I've had people reach out to me because when I do my actual talks, anybody who's struggling within that presentation, within that room, I will offer one-to-one support afterwards for anyone as part of that day. And I get so many people reaching out, and even it might just be one phone call, but they'll tell me that I've changed their lives, and I'm like, I haven't done anything. I've just spoken. You've done it. You reached out. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's good. It's amazing.
Amazing. Next question for you is, what bad habit you wish you could stop?
Oh, eating biscuits. Like I don't smoke. I don't drink alcohol. Don't do any drugs. So yeah, when it comes to bad habits, I probably doubt myself a lot and have to correct myself. But yeah, I enjoy a few biscuits with a cup of tea. So I can maybe do a cutting some of them out. But yeah.
Do you like cooking?
I cook a little bit. Like I'll be cooking tonight because George is at work. So, but all she's having is prawn salad on jacket potatoes. It's now special.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Steve from England. Next question is, what was the biggest punishment you have ever received?
Biggest punishment I've ever received?
Yeah.
No, probably a speeding fine. But yeah, other than being grounded as a kid for a couple of weeks for being naughty, probably just like say a speeding fine or something like that. I've never been in trouble, so I've been.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say I've been really, really lucky and got away with it in the past. So.
Do you have a big family, Steve, or not?
Yeah, we are. Well, I have got a sister and a brother. Brother's a bit younger than me. He's like my dad had another child after my mum and dad got separated. So yeah, I've got a sister and a brother. I've got a lot of cousins, aunties and uncles. My mum's got, I think it's 7 siblings all in all. I've got 2 boys myself. George, the wife, she's got a daughter, and Beth, the daughter, she's got a little 2.5-year-old son. So yeah, I'm a granddad as well. So
wow.
So yeah, fairly, we're a big close family.
What's the biggest joy of being a dad?
Biggest joy of being a dad?
Yeah.
I think just watching them grow up and see them becoming like for me, like I said, I've got two boys and they're 21 and 17 now, and to see them grow into men and living their own lives, and the good men as well, you know. So it makes me, I'm very very proud of that. But yeah, that's the biggest joy, is just watching them grow.
And so far, what's the biggest or the most meaningful lesson you've learned from your kids?
Just being there from that, they made me like grow up. Like before I had the boys, before like when I was with the boys' mum, I was still a bit of a playboy. I like to go out, enjoy the weekends, and once the kids came into my life, that was when I calmed down a lot,
Uh-huh.
and kind of started to mature a little bit and start to think about them rather than about me.
See. Okay. Ready for another one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Next one. Before the next one, of course, it's visible your tattoos. Yeah, you have around your arms, I believe in your body. Tell me which one is the very first one you ever had. Tell me the latest one, and also which one is the most meaningful one.
So the first one I ever got was those faces, which is just ghoul faces down my arm.
Yeah.
I was 16 when I got that one, but I've had it touched up and stuff. It was a mess. I've had it touched up. The most recent one is probably the K with a heart on my wrist across there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So K is for Kenny, my granddad. And on the back of his gravestone, it's a big man with it, because he was a big man. The big man with an even bigger heart. So I got a K and a heart for my granddad. So that one means a lot. But the most meaningful one is probably that one, which is angel wings, and then forever by my side.
Wow.
And that, like I said at the beginning, I went on a bit of a spiritual journey, and everyone said that I shouldn't have survived the accident, and it was a miracle. But I went and saw a medium, someone I never believed in, but I went and saw a medium, and she knew exactly why I was there. She told me that I have got a guardian angel, and she told me that it was my nana, my grandma, who saved my life that day, and she said she's forever by your side. So I got forever by my side on my arm. So yeah, that one, them two with my grandparents mean a lot.
Well, I believe that so your grandparents, you're very close to them.
Yeah, my nana, she passed away when I was about 15, like a long time ago. But as a child, as a little boy, I used to go and stay with her. Like any school holidays or anything, I'd go and stay at her house. She used to spoil me. She used to buy me a lot of stuff. And my granddad, like I said, my granddad's my hero. He brought all his kids up himself. Like my other grandma, his wife, she left him when my mum was still young, and he brought all his kids up by himself. So yeah, I've always looked up to him.
Wow. Okay, next question is, what makes you a unique person?
Oh, I've got 3 nipples.
Really?
Yeah. I've got it's like a double nipple. I'm not going to show it. So yeah, that makes me fairly unique. Other than that, I'm just your average guy.
Oh my God! I'm just thinking now. Those people who loves nipple. They might be. Oh my God! Show it, please.
Yeah, he's got a double. So, but yeah, I guess that makes me quite unique.
Tell me something, Steve. Talking to you, I can see that you are in a great place now. You feel grateful for your journey. You enjoy your life so far. Do you feel that you are living your best life right now?
Yeah, 100%. I think I still have bad days, like we all do, where little doubt kicks in, and obviously we all need to pay bills and we all want more money but for what I now do and my life I've got, and George, my wife, the boys being happy. Yeah, for me, I practice gratitude every morning, and I encourage all my clients to do the same. And after the accident, what I've learned is every day is a blessing. If no one's promised tomorrow. We don't know if we're going to be here tomorrow. So you've just got to enjoy every single moment and take lessons from anything that's negative. So for me, yeah, I use that and that kind of mindset to now being the best place I've ever been.
Amazing. 3 questions left. Let's do it. Before the next one, of course, let's talk about the accident that happened to you, in the past. I'm going to ask a tough question for you now. Knowing the place where you are now, as you just mentioned now, you feel the best right now. 2 questions in one. The first part of the question is, do you think that this event, tragic event that, happened to you, it meant to happen to you, if you know what I mean? When you look back, do you feel like for any reason, or, now you are in a place where you can analyze and you can think about it? I'm sure at the time it wasn't easy. Of course, my God, going through that, it must be, wow. Yeah. Just, very difficult. But of course, now you are over it. Do you believe that it meant to happen to you? And the second part of the question is, looking back, what's the biggest lesson or the outcome or something positive that you took out of that journey or that moment?
Yeah, so I definitely believe that happened for a reason, because before I got into the trench, we had 2 young lads in the trench doing the job. So there was 2 bodies in there. They were both only 18. If they'd have still been in there when the pipe failed, it was only a small trench. There probably would have been 2 fatalities. But I made a choice to get out my machine and say, look, get out the trench. I'll tighten it up. I'll do it, because I knew I was physically stronger than those 2. So I got in the trench, and yeah, that blew. And I woke up underwater and I was battered and bruised. I didn't even know where I was. But yeah, if I hadn't got in there, them 2 might have died. So I do believe everything happens for a reason. I was supposed to get in there. I was always going to survive. And yeah, so I believe that happened. As far as what I can take away from it as a positive, before that accident happened, I was 32 when that accident happened. And at 32 years of age, I didn't believe in depression, because I'd never been clinically depressed or anything. So if I had friends or family or colleagues come up to me and say, I'm really down, I'm really depressed, I need time off work, and I was the guy that was saying, man up, crack on with it, stop being a wimp. You know what I mean? You can physically do your job. What you're going to do, go home and lay in bed for 2 weeks. It's an excuse. And then I suffered it myself, and my mind went into a really dark place. And I realized it is real, and it's not something people just say, I'm sad all the time. There's many people that look like they're very, very happy, but deep down they're struggling with themselves. Yes. And having gone through that transition, having gone from being that guy to this guy, I see it, and that's a massive positive, because if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't be doing what I'm now doing. We wouldn't be sat having this conversation. I wouldn't be meeting people that I'm meeting. So yeah, the positive is, part of me probably did die that day, basically, but I was rebuilt with a stronger mindset, a healthier mindset. Amazing. And it sent me on a journey to learn.
Wow. Next question is, tell me something that your parents did or in the past that comforts you the most, that when you think about, you're very grateful for your parents, the way they raised you or the way they kind of, being around you. That's something?
Like my mum and dad divorced when I was 10, but I do still, my dad's always been in my life, so I do have a relationship with them both. Thinking back, my mum's like my world. She's always there for me. She'll always be there for me. I speak to her every single day. Just knowing that she's at the end of the phone, or I can go and see her, is a massive comfort. And same with my dad. Is I know if I need anything, is there. But thinking back to a time with them both, something that comforts me. There wasn't really. They had a bit of a toxic relationship. So yeah, memories up until at 10 years old when they divorced. There's not many.
I see.
But yeah, they're both amazing people, and they're both there for me.
I think just being there for you, it's something already that's, you know, the biggest comfort you can have, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
2 questions left. Let's do it. Before the next one, talking about mental health. It's interesting. I had a few people on the show, you know, that they do the same work as you do. We talk about mental health. And it's interesting because, let's say 10 years ago, maybe, or 15 years ago, I never heard this word before.
No.
I think mental health before, it was something that people never talked about. It was there, but it was exposed the way it is right now. I think I love like the work you do because, you know, somehow you are helping people, make people understand more, be more open about it. That is there, it's happening right now. I think more than ever, you know, after the COVID. And I think my question for you is, nowadays, based on your experience and based in the words that we live right now, what's the biggest cause of mental health issues right now in the world, in your opinion, of people?
The biggest cause of mental health problems?
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is just, there's a million and one different thing. There's not one biggest cause, but obviously alcohol and drugs plays a major part. So people do a lot of alcohol, drink a lot of alcohol and drugs when they're younger, and then that's impacting the man in later life. As far as cost of living and the way the world is at the minute, not just in the UK but in America, everywhere, it's that financially is a massive struggle, and that plays a major part. Stress through struggling financially plays a major part. But yeah, I think, and all the wars that are going on in and around the world, and all the threats, and obviously we got through COVID. COVID played a major part in people's mental health. And I think going back, like my mum's generation, she hates the word mental health, because back when she was kind of my age or a bit younger, if somebody was struggling, if someone had mental health problems and it was mentioned, they normally got sectioned instantly. You know, like it was a really negative thing. Whereas now, looking after our mental health is something we should all do every day. I like to just call it your mental well-being, which is your overall, your physical health is going to impact your mental health.
I see.
But yeah, I think nowadays it is a lot better. We've got a lot more people talking about it. But as far as the biggest cause, going back to the question, I think it's just a lack of understanding as well. Like, it's something that should be more in the education system when you're at school. Because if we understand our mind, like I had to go on a long journey to be where I'm at now. But if we understood mental health, and we understood anxiety and depression and how to deal with it, rather than just going, if you go to a doctor, the first thing they're going to do is throw a medication at you. And all that medication is going to do is mask it. It's not going to, I've got clients who was on medication for 10 years. And it's like, you're supposed to be on antidepressants for like literally weeks until you get through it, and then you come off them. But doctors will constantly just keep throwing them at you. And so going back to all of that, to answer that question, is education. There's no education about mental health.
Amazing. Okay. Next question is, tell us about your guilty pleasure.
A guilty pleasure? This is tough. Recently, I've been spending too much time on TikTok. That's a guilty pleasure. Trying to grow my TikTok, which is doing a little bit better. But yeah, other than that, again, I'm pretty straightforward. I eat really, really healthy, and people think I'm boring, but it's just I eat healthy. I don't drink. Other than TikTok and eating too many biscuits with a cup of tea,
I was
that's
about to
about
say,
it.
I was about to say for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Ready for the last one?
That's it, yeah.
Last question. Let's do it. But before the last question, through your career, tell me a moment or a situation through your, your motivational speaker or through your clients. Tell me a situation or a moment that you're never gonna forget. It's always gonna have a special place in your heart if you can share.
It's just it's not one moment, but it happens with most clients, and it's the ones who have been in the darkest of places, and then I work with them for a bit, and then they've got the biggest smile on their face, and they tell me that I've changed their life, and they're living the best life as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I even though I don't take credit for that because they do all the work, knowing that they've gone from being on the verge of not wanting to be here no more to being the happiest that they've been in a long, long time, knowing that they're at that place just makes me feel amazing. There's no obvious. I get paid for what I do, but there's no money in the world that can account for that. It's just seeing someone who's living the best life is amazing.
Amazing. Last question is, what is the worst first date have you ever been on?
I've never been on a date. I've never been on a date. Like my first when I was about 20. Obviously, when I was a teenager, I said I went out with George when we was young.
Yeah.
And she was the first girl that I ever fell in love with. But again, we didn't date. We just met and then saw each other. Then I ended up getting with a friend for a few years and staying with her. That didn't work out. Then I got straight into another relationship with a boy's mum, which we didn't date. It was just we met once and carried it on. And then after 16 years, we separated. And then George liked my business page on Facebook. She liked my profile picture. So I sent her a message and then we met up and we've never been apart since. So I've never actually had to prepare to go out to meet somebody.
I see. Let's put the question a different way then. Let's see since you've known your wife, yeah, tell me the best first date you've been together. Tell me a situation or meal that you had that was very special.
We've had lots of special meals, but being in New York was a really nice time.
Wow.
So yeah, just sat in a restaurant in New York is pretty amazing. But then we've also had really nice meals in Cyprus and Tenerife and but New York stands out because it's somewhere that I'd always wanted to go visit. So yeah,
amazing.
Very special.
Wow, it's not every day that you can have a date in New York City.
No, there's not, and it's I love New York, and we did 5 nights in New York.
Yeah,
but it's not somewhere that I'd rush to go back to because my feet are still hurting from all the walking. It was it's a big place. So, but amazing place. Anyone who's not been, I'd recommend the go.
It's funny saying that because growing up back in Brazil, I'm originally from Brazil, I always had a dream to go to New York City. For some reason, I always had a dream. And a few years ago, I went there for the first time as well. And I was like, wow, I'm here. Yeah. If I can make it to New York City, I can make anywhere in the world.
Yeah, everything's just massive, isn't it? You stand in Town Square and you don't know where to look.
I think I realized when I was, of course, since I arrived there, I was, amazed with the city. But I remember when I realized that I was in the city, when I saw those policemen in the street, like organize the traffic. I was like, oh, I'm here. It's in the movies, all the cabs and, every bit of New York City. But I remember seeing these policemen like control the traffic. I was like, I'm here. Now I'm here in New York City.
Because from the airport, we got the subway and then we stepped out at like 52, 3, whatever. And as we stepped out, two massive fire engines was passing with the lights on. And it was just the noise and the size of everything. It was like, wow. So, I mean, that's when it hit. That was in New York.
Amazing. Okay, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with family.
Love.
Money.
Needed.
Fear.
Face it. Can I say face it?
Huh?
Face your fear. Face your fear.
Yeah, of course. Life.
A blessing.
Love.
Heart.
Religion.
A story.
Sex.
Amazing.
Politics.
Cheaters.
Friendship.
Loyalty.
Desire.
Grab it.
Regret.
None.
Success.
Hard work.
Wish.
Dream.
Happiness.
Gratitude.
One word for all.
Oh. Home.
England. One word.
Tough one. England is English.
Okay. Mental health speaker. One word.
Passionate.
And the last one now. Life coach. One word.
Changing mindsets.
Amazing.
Two words, but
it's okay. Absolutely. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your wife for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, define Steve in one positive word and one negative word only. What should say?
I ain't got a clue. I should say that I will trustworthy.
Okay.
Negative word. Don't leave food near me because I'll eat it. But but other than that, yeah, it's difficult to find a negative word.
There you go. Let's play now Steve and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before you ask me the question, people watch this interview right now. They would like to, work with you. Would you like to, to have some advice or to become your clients? What's something about your job that stands out compared with other people there?
I do what I do because I'm passionate about helping people. So there's a lot of therapists and stuff who've gone to universities and got degrees and all that, but they don't feel it. They know what they've got to say from a textbook, and that's it. And a lot of people have had therapy. I had therapy, and it hasn't worked. Now, I haven't got a degree in psychology. I'm not a therapist. I'm a life coach. But I've got that lived experience on top of the studying that I've done for the last 12 years. So I'm not just gonna, and I only take on a few clients at a time. I don't like to have a conveyor belt of clients. So I like to have that rapport with people, that one-to-one. So if you want to transform your life, whether it's nutrition, whether it's addiction, whether it's career, then I know 100% that I can help you.
Amazing. Okay. You can ask me a question now.
Oh, I should have thought about this before we started, shouldn't I? So, if you only had 24 hours left on this earth,
wow,
who would you like to spend it with? Anybody?
Wow, that's a very tough question. My God, you put me right in the spot, Steve. Wow, right in the spot. You know what? You know what? I'm going to cheat a little bit in the question, okay? What I'm going to do. So I've got my family back in Brazil, and I've got, I've got my godson, my best friend who lives in Canada. I think I would, 24 hours, I would find a way to fly my mom here to London, yeah. And somehow I would get my godson here as well to spend those 24 hours with me. I think I'd love that. I'd love, I've got so many great friends. I've got beautiful family members that I love, like I dear love. But if I would, have 24 hours of life, I would literally find a way, or maybe, be difficult for me to fly to Brazil and fly to different places. So maybe I would get, yeah, I would spend all my money on tickets for all people that I love to come here to London, get all together 24 hours. I think I would do my best to just to be there with them and to spend those hours, because it's spend time with our loved ones. I think it's priceless. I think
it's like I said, every day is a blessing, and we all get caught up in work and everything else, and we forget to contact people and like family members. We don't speak to them for weeks at sometimes months, and we need to connect more. We don't know how long we've got. So if you love somebody, let them know that you love them.
I think nowadays with technology, we are very lucky because like in my case, I have families, everywhere, and it's great for me to be able to connect with them. But being in person, it's a different thing. It's it's a totally different experience. And but yeah, back to your question, I've got everyone here and spent this 24 hours just the best I could, just to make them know that how much I love them, appreciate their having them in my life, for sure.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Did you enjoy the interview?
I did, yeah. Like I said, it was. I've been watching some of your stuff, so I had a bit of an idea. But yeah, it's good. And you're really easy to talk to as well. So
Thanks, Steve. I know you've been trying for a while to get the interview, but as you said, the interview, everything happened for a reason. I think we meant to have this interview today. I think for one reason or another, we meant to hear. Thanks so much for taking the time. Also, thanks for sharing this event in your life in the past that somehow brought you to the person you are right now. And again, helping people, it's about sharing memories, experiences, and that's about helping people around the world. I think it's great. Thanks so much for being so open about it. Thank you.
No problems. SK Life Coach UK. Also, all social media.
Show me the hat again.
So it's just SK Life Coach UK, and then I've got believe and reach out on the side, because if we believe in ourselves or we believe in something, life gets easier.
Amazing. Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. So we want change, but we're still going to do the same thing. But nothing changes if nothing changes. So you've got to change your habits, whatever you're doing, in order to get to where you want to be. Otherwise, you're just going to keep walking in the mud. And be grateful. Gratitude.
Always.
Look at the positives in life rather than the negatives.
Yeah, I think the power of of being grateful and expressing gratitude is very powerful, and it gets back to you in such a bigger proportion that you can imagine.
It's positive energy, in it. Because I'm not religious as such, but I do believe in energy and vibration, and when you're negative or you're around negative people, that energy just drains, it drops. But if you can have gratitude and you can be grateful, you can focus on the positives, that vibration gets faster, that energy gets you've got a lot more energy. And that's when you start attracting good things in life.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. Regards to your kids and to your wife, and you keep in touch. Okay, it was a pleasure. Okay.
Thank you, William. Cheers. Bye bye.
Okay. Good night.
Bye bye. Thank you.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.